Greetings. I'm Logan, the G.I. Joe Gamer, and tonight on this midnight madness edition of Joe. Clearly, I forgot to do that. Sorry, I have to mute that. But so we're going to hear us go a while tonight too. Tonight is Joe Takes 23, Vipers from the Hill. That's what we're going to be taking a look at now. I do have some vintage examples we're going to look at, but we're going to do this like I did the bat video. Got lots of Vipers to look at. So I'm going to do this a little different tonight, as this is our second edition of our Troop Builder series. So I'm going to start tonight with a carded Viper for the 25th anniversary of the modern line. And I think maybe this is just a little too loud on my music. There we go. Now, the Viper is the Cobra infantry trooper, kind of the counter to G.I. Joe's Grunt. Only you don't really troop build Grunt. I mean, you can, but you troop build Cobras. And I definitely wanted to get one. They keep one in the package with the silver foil border and the 25th anniversary logo up here. I thought this was a really cool design for these cars. They look like the old G.I. Joes when they came out. Then you've got, of course, you got the file card. It looks like I got some smudge or something on there, but I took care of that. And this is really cool. So I'm going to give you a more close-up look at it this week. It'll focus. And I'm not sure how well that focused, but there's the Cobra Viper file card. And this is going to be not this exact file card, but I do have tons of file cards. It's going to be in the video I play at the end like I always do. So there's that. Then we'll look at the classified box art for the Viper 3-pack, which is what I'm really taking a look at tonight. Now, the number 47 is the classified line. Go like that. And on the back of the box, it shows the figures, all the accessories, which we are going to take a look at in just a moment. Now, this one didn't have artwork on the side of the box, but this classified box art is, if I get this on here correctly, really cool. Let's take a good look at it. Now, I do have the comics, a lot of comics this is in. It looks like we got a couple people in chat. Oh, just National Parks Princess, greetings. How you doing tonight? You've been watching videos for 6 hours? Yeah, I've pretty much been doing, getting ready for this one since my live stream earlier, so I get you. But tonight I'm looking at Vipers 3-pack. The reason why I don't have any comics out tonight is because Vipers don't really have a character per se. They can be anybody, anything. And I do have, like I said, as I started to say, I do have a lot of comics with the Vipers in them. They're not really focused on any of the covers. I did find one cover that you're trying to catch up. Yeah, I do that too, when on my days off. I did that during the week here. The cover that I was going to show you, but I didn't break them out tonight, is this one right here. But I didn't feel it necessary. If I had a picture of it, I could just show it to you. Same as if I showed you the actual comic itself. I do have it. I already took a look at it in my G.I. Joe and B video. So there's that. Now, so that's the box and the carded figure. Let's take a look at this really cool classified version of the Viper. Now, it came with lots of guns. Yeah, I think they're nice too. I don't know what's going on with my hair tonight. It just, I'm all clean and nice. It just doesn't want to stay. Anyway, sorry about that. What I thought was really cool about these guys, I mean, all the accessories. You've got the sidearm, you got your standard Viper rifle that the classified series has for all the Vipers. But they all also came with a ton of these other guns, which is pretty cool, and some blast effects, which I'm gonna take out and play with here a little bit and show off a bit. Now, these Vipers, I thought this was really cool. I'm gonna take the scarf off. I thought these scarves really made these figures pop. But if you, I don't know if you can see that under there, but that made him have a darker complexion. So he was a Cobra of color, as it were. Now, if I get this scarf back on, they stay on really good, and so sometimes it's hard to put them on enough. And naturally, he's going to pop off this foot peg on this battle stand. But I'll take it out. Now, on this other one, he's a Caucasian. If I can put that on the screen properly. So yeah, you see the difference, and it was nice that they did that. I'm actually really happy that they're doing that now more and more with these classified figures. I'm not sure if they're going to do that with all of them, but I do have my Python Patrol I'm going to be looking at next week, and the Python Televiper. It's really distinct, and I'll be able to show those off. That's kind of cool. But this 3-pack also came with the Viper Officer. The Viper Officer is really cool. I love the colors on this figure. And his pistol was slightly different, and it also came with a suppressor. We'll pop this out and take a look at it. Suppressor. Little pistol right here, and the suppressor just pops right in there. Now you could use this with or without the suppressor, and it's pretty cool, and it just goes right in the holster. But I'm gonna leave this out because I'm gonna put some blast effects in here. Before I do that, because there's one I really like with the pistol. I'm gonna see if I can hold all three of these bad boys up at the same time. Give you a look at this Viper 3-pack. Now, I do have a better video of this at the end. I'm going to play. The On Joe Takes 33. This is episode 33 of Joe Takes. So let me bust out these blast effects, and we'll take a look at them. It was the first time that they introduced blast effects in the classified line. Now, they've brought some more out that are okay. And some of these sets, I think some of the blast effects are the same. I don't know why this bag just did this. Okay. It's going to be fun for me tonight, of course. Now, with this pistol, with the suppressor or silencer, whatever you want to call it, proper terminology would be a suppressor. This blast effect here is like a smoking gun effect. Get it to go right inside the barrel of the suppressor. So it makes it look like the gun is smoky. I thought that was pretty cool. Now, a lot of these go together. Oh, that's okay. You don't have to know much. That's kind of why I'm sharing. I let people know my hobby, and this is what I love to play around with. Is these action figures, and I like to collect them and show them off. Now, see if I can get some of these blast effects to work together. Like this is like a mini, like it just fired. But when you combine it with one of these shooting blast effects, and you can put it on the end of the gun, it makes it really look like you just fired the gun. And it's pretty cool. Now, these work. These ones that are just like a straight shot, they work with or without the extra little added blast effect. If I can get a hold of this right, put it in here. My hands aren't really cooperating today with me, but either way, it looks like it's firing with or without the little added blast effect. Now, like I said, some of these, and I'll try to give them all some blast effects. And you just plug it, you just peg them right into the end of the barrel. Some of these look really cool, and by themselves they look cool. But then you can add an extra blast effect to it because they all peg right into each other. It's kind of neat. I'm glad they did it that way. So it looks more like the gun is actually firing. I found this to be these really cool blast effects, and I'm glad they've started putting more in with these G.I. Joe figures. Now, let me see here. This one here is like a little star effect. If I can go into the barrel there. There we go. And like I said, you can mix and match these all up and plug them in together. I've even done 3 of them together before. This one here, I'm going to pop into here. And once I've put it into the barrel of this other Viper's gun, see, they went all out with these blast effects. I thought they did pretty good. The 9 comes with a set of 3 Vipers. And you can really, really display some figures with some really cool blast effects. I'm going to swap this on out over here with this other blast effect I've got that I like. Kind of saved it for the last. And it doesn't really go with the other ones that well because of what it is, but it's kind of a strafing action, like you're firing downward or up. And like I said, you can really display these and make them look really super cool. But what I'm going to do here is take this rifle out of this guy's hand, and I'm going to display this this pistol with the smoking gun, so you can take a look. And you really don't get the effect of it until it's actually in a character's hand. And then you really get the idea that this is a smoking gun. I think it's pretty cool. I like to display it kind of like that, like he's already fired it. And it's pretty badass. Or maybe a little further down, so it makes it look like smoke coming out of the gun. I think that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to set these back here so you can see them throughout the video while I start looking at these older figures. Now, normally I look at the classified figures last, but I kind of wanted to get that done so we can take our time with the vintage figures, because I have a few. I have a couple of bags worth. Now, this is my vintage bag, and then I have a modern bag for the 25th anniversary line that we'll take a look at. And I'll kind of compare the differences between them. So I'm going to slide these out here. Now, a lot of these I got in the 2000s, but I do have some really good vintage examples down at the bottom of the bag here. And that's why I keep them. I keep them in these big old Ziploc bags to keep them nice. And then I have them also in these little individual bags like this. And I label them so I can keep track and know what year they come from and everything. And let's see. Now, the Cobra Viper originally came with a gun and a backpack, but at least I'm pretty sure it came with a little backpack. But when I went through my my accessories, which I used to keep all together, and you know, as an adult collector, I wish I hadn't done that. And it's all good for not knowing much. And it makes me feel good to know somebody's out there listening at least. But the original vintage Viper, this is what it looked like. And I have this really nice example of it. I try to be organized. I wouldn't say I'm super organized. I've seen other people's collections that are way organized, but this particular one came out in 1986, and I'm pretty sure I bought it that year. I pretty much just started collecting in '85 near the end of the year. So when they came out, it was really neat. Now, of course, I really played with these hardcore, so a lot of these fell apart, and I put them back together, and I had to swap some arms out with some other figures, and I used some of they had a Cobra accessory pack that they brought out in like 87 or 88. I don't remember exactly when, but they also had the Viper gun come in that. So I managed to pick up an extra, and I put arms from a Xandar figure. 85, 86, yeah, it kind of was a lifetime ago. That's when I started collecting, when I was 15 in 85. And like I said, I put these Xandar arms on him, and I thought they looked really good with him. That's what we like to call Frankenstein figures, but everything else is original on this figure. But I do have the original example down here that I already showed you. Now, I do have a lot more of these really nice looking Vipers that came out in a 6-pack in the mid-2000s, but there was another vintage, a few other vintage Vipers that came out. Now, I'm not exactly sure when a lot of these came out, but I know that this guy here came out in 94. And then in the 90s, the Joes came out with these accessory trees that you had to pop all the accessories off of. That's what they call it, a little plastic tree with all these accessories on it. And the thing I didn't like about that was some of them just didn't fit the figures. This one isn't bad with this pistol, but this particular version of the Viper wasn't really well received. I don't know why. It's kind of cool. I kind of wish they'd have given them a different name, different type of Viper, because they really went all out on the Vipers. Once they had the first, they came out with the Televiper in 85, and then the regular Viper in 86, and then after that, every year almost, they came out with like a Techno Viper, and a Frag Viper, and any kind of Viper you can think of with just different specialties. But in 94, they came out with one in a brand new suit and called it a Viper, and it was just the new uniform for the Viper. And this particular gun that he came with was just another gun from an ironically enough, 86 monkey wrench. But he also came with this pistol. And they all came with rocket launchers too, and I got a whole bag of those, but I don't remember which went with which. And I would really have to go on like yojo.com and really compare accessories to figure that one out. But this little pistol came with this figure, but originally came with an 88 Iron Grenadier, if I remember right. It was like the extra gun. I might be wrong about that one. And I'm not sure about this pistol, who it originally came with, but it's kind of cool that they had so many different guns and everything by 94, which was the last year they put out the vintage figures, that they just kind of threw them together with a bunch of different ones. And now I have two of those, and like I said, I can sit here and break out these figures all night, but I wanted to show you the original ones. I roll them up in these bags and keep them really nice, but I don't see the point of taking all of these out and checking them out. But I did want to take a look at those two originals. But I'll take out each one of the different kinds that I have. In the 2000s, it's something called the Valor versus Venom line. They brought out this particular Viper that looked different. Now, a lot of times they call that one I was just looking at that came out in 94, the Viper 2. This would be considered the Viper 3, if I remember correctly. And this gun that he came with is just really too big for his head. And the plastic on these old figures is so brittle that if it really forced it in there, it would probably break the thumb or the hand off, and I'm not going to do that. I have two of these, and generally these came in a 2-pack, the Valor vs. Venom, with some other, usually a Joe or another Viper of a different type, so that they, you can have it was basically a troop builder pack. And like I said, I have two of those, and bust them all out. But I don't know why they came with these guns right here that were just, see, as you can see, the handle on that gun is just way too big for the hand, and if you match them up, you can see that it's bigger than the space there, and I would really have to force it in there and probably break the plastic, and I'm not going to do it. I used to not be one of those. I'm not afraid to do that. It's not about being afraid. It's just that I want to keep my fingers in good shape. and not do that. Now, also in the 2000s, they brought another 2-pack with a show, and I'm not precisely remember which one it was, but they brought out the original Viper with a different legs, actually, so he looks slightly different than the vintage and in different colors, but I really like this green one, and it's a really cool looking Viper. And like I said, I have quite a few of these, and that's just, let me see, you got 2, 4, 6, 7 examples that were based off the vintage ones, but they brought out this really neat, like in 2006, I'm pretty sure, they brought out this really neat 6-pack. We'll take a look at those. Oh, hey, I got another one of those, another one of those green ones. I just picked this one up recently at like a hobby store. That sometimes hobby stores will buy old figures and then sell them. And I got this for like maybe $2, so it was kind of nice. I saw a Viper and went, "Oh, I'm going to be a Viper." But this 6-pack that they brought out, it was called the Viper Pit, and now 5 of these are identical, but they do have like a Viper officer type deal, or a Viper squad leader, and they all came with the same gear as the original Viper. But I wanted to show this off because I thought the repaint on this was super nice, and I thought they did a really good job of putting these figures together for this 6-pack. And then, like I said, I know that like 5 of them are all the same, but when you're building troops for Cobra, that's what you want, is them all to be the same. So it turned out pretty good. And then I can just pop this back in here. There's like a little bit of stickum on here that just pops right off all the time. And you just roll it back up, and then it says Viper right on the back of it, if I can do it right. There we go. So like I said, I have all the other 4 in the package like that, but I'm going to take out the squad leader, and we'll take a look at him, and then we'll look at the modern ones. I don't do that very often on here. But when you're dealing with a troop builder like Cobra Vipers, and like last week I did Alley Viper, which is my favorite Viper. That's kind of why I started with him. So we'll check that video out. It's been doing pretty well. I think I had a lot of fun making that one, and I'm having fun making this one too. Now the thing about these 3 3/4 inch figures, or 3.75, however you want to say it amounts to the same thing. They are put together with an O-ring in the center that goes over a peg inside the chest, and in the back there's a hole. And I don't know if I get the light down in there properly. But there's a little screw in that hole where the backpacks normally go, and you can unscrew that, and the arms come off and the head comes off. And then there's a little O-ring that pulls. There's a piece in here called a T-bar, and you can easily repair these figures. That's why a lot of people like the 3 3/4 inch. I don't have a problem with the modern figures. I got this little old candy bar box that I like. It's really good size to slip these figures in while I'm doing this on a show, so that I don't have to keep putting everything away while I'm trying to show everything off. Now, yeah, like I said, they have all these different variants, types of Vipers. There's like the Techno Viper, and I kind of did a video on the Techno Vipers for Cobra Convergence 6 let's see, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. It didn't get played, but I played it on my channel when I first started, so it's like a little 2-minute video. Check that out. These modern Vipers, like I said, there's like a Nitro Viper, and I might take them all out and look at them here. It depends on how long we're going, but it looks like we've already gone over my normal time, so I'm gonna go through these really quick. The Cyber Viper, I got 2 of these, and let's see. I really liked. Well, here's a modern example of a Televiper, which Next week on my Python patrol, I got the Python Televiper, so we'll be taking a look at them. And there's a Paraviper. Yeah, I know you can't really, like a Paratrooper for Cobra. But I'm going to look at, what I really want to look at is these modern Vipers and compare the modern Viper with the original. Now I have two that I really want to look at, and they had something called the Elite Viper, and that was kind of cool. This was for the movie figures, The Rise of Cobra, and I got a bunch of those too. My favorite Joe is the Hostile Environment Trooper, the hazmat guy, and during the 2010 cartoon or 2011 called G.I. Joe Renegades, he was in that, and they had the Cobra hazmat troopers, and they called them Hazard Vipers. And so it was finally nice to get one that competed with my favorite dude. They had something called Toxo Vipers back in the day. Not really the same thing. Let me grab this, my really good vintage Viper, and I'm going to pop out one of these modern Vipers, and I will show you the difference. Now, the standard one, it came with the goggles come off, and it's kind of tricky to keep them together because originally the goggles were just painted on, and some of these, it's really easy to lose the goggles. I think I might have actually lost the goggles for this particular one, but it'll just give you an idea. I've got each of the modern line came with a battle stand, and I thought that was pretty cool with the character's name on it, and I wish they would do that again for the classified line. I had to buy a bunch of battle stands just for 6-inch figures that were generic. Now, some of the like with have Gung-Ho sitting here. Again, is the new retro line of classified figures, and they come with battle stands. The Joes come with one that has the Joe star, and the Cobras come with a Cobra symbol on the battle stand, and that's kind of neat. But the rest of them, I have to do these battle stands like this that are just generic, and they help them stand up because some of them are really top heavy, especially when you put all the accessories and stuff on them. Now, like I said, compared to the original, it's a little bit taller. It's like a 4-inch compared to 3 3/4 inch, and it's just the design was slightly different. And they did the hands weird because all the Vipers were based off the one that came with the Trouble Bubble originally, and so some of their hands were kind of bent funny. But that's kind of why I wanted to show this other one. This is my favorite Viper that came out in the modern line, and it's got the goggles and everything on top that come off, but those might actually be on upside down now that I think about it. But I ain't gonna bother taking them off because they're on there really good. And the hands were straight on this one, and I thought and the helmet was just super shiny. And I love the way they did that almost like a foil. A really shiny helmet. And these flak jackets actually can come off. And I actually took this one off once, and I wish I hadn't because they don't go back together very well. And I'm not really good at that kind of stuff, especially with my hands being what they are now that I'm older. But as you can see, if I get these lined up properly, it is a nice representation of the vintage. And I thought they did a really good job. And then what you have here is all 3 stages. You've got your vintage Viper, your modern Viper, and your classified. And I thought they did a really good job of it. Now, they did sell the classified one by itself, but originally it was a Target exclusive in a Cobra Island set. And I have a lot of those, but that's one of the few I don't have. And it's still really hard to come by in some areas. I could probably get it now. In fact, I might order it with some of my Christmas money. Since I have some very generous relations that have donated to our family very generously. And it's other than that, I generally just on what money I have after I pay my mortgage, which ain't much. But so I definitely am grateful when family and extended family and friends help out, and I could get new things to show off for the show to share with everybody. I'll put all these back, but what I really like for this video is I'll have to say it, the Viper Officer. I love the colors. I love what they did with the design. I mean, it's the same figure. I do have a Python Patrol Viper, but I'll be looking at him next week. Pretty much the same figure, just different colors. Hey, Victor. Well, you take it easy, and thanks for stopping by. And good night, sir. Hopefully you'll be able to catch this in the replay, because I'm just about done here. So that's the Viper. So now what I have left to talk about is generally I talk about what goes on in the comics and the cartoon. And like I said, they don't do a lot. They have them all throughout the cartoon and the comics, especially the second season. But there's no character. I mean, they have different individual Vipers and stuff, but for the most part, they're just troops. And so that's what they are. They're the backbone of the Cobra Legions. It's the same with the cartoon, same with the comics. Now in the cartoon, they don't really do much to differentiate. In the comics, Larry Hama sees them all as Vipers, whether they're troopers or Vipers. Me personally, though, if it's a trooper, I differentiate it as kind of a little bit more elite, and that they see themselves that way. And the Vipers are just the standard troopers from the Cobra Legions. And that's really my take on Vipers. That's really why I wanted to show off my collection a bit, because not much to say on the character. Well, I'm glad you caught me too there, National Parks Princess. I appreciate you being here. Now, I have a video, like I said, I'm going to play. I've got file cards and artwork, and that's what I always do to end these Joe takes. And with that all being said, Logan out.